Don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh my
Wouldn't you
God.
say that if one of us goes in, then we all go through it?
Yep. Drake almost buried the Lakers last night.
He tried, man.
Yeah. But I think the
He,
curse is officially broken.
he tried so hard, and really he got so far, but in the end, it just didn't really matter.
Unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. Keep it real with him.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back. The Lakers officially survived the Drake curse.
Dude, isn't it?
Round of
crazy?
applause, please.
Isn't it crazy how we spent all that time preparing and talking about the Eastern Conference play-in games, and then they just magically just never happened?
Oh, bro.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, no, we were definitely just 2-0 this weekend. These last 2 days. No, that very easily almost turned into a 1-3 2-day stretch for us. Like, bro. Oh my gosh. I was
That's
rooting for the
close.
Lakers for more than one reason. that was crazy. But welcome to Unpopular Opinion. Of course, I'm your host, Jason Rivera. We've got Bo Benson with me as always. And the last 2 days were kind of fun. One game was a blowout. This Hornets game wasn't fun. That was
yeah, that was definitely not
that was
it was not a good
disgusting.
time.
It was kind of embarrassing. Even looking back on it, once I started watching the game, I was just like, damn, I really didn't take into account the experience of the Hornets or the lack of experience for the Hornets because they just look like a deer in headlights out there. There was no defense being played, but it was like kindergarten defense. Not even kindergarten. Let me not go in. Like it was middle school defense. Like it was crazy. People running into each other and just not able to pick up a man as one is crossing the other one and knowing to like what to protect, who to, it's just there's it was ridiculous. Super
Yeah.
embarrassing.
No, it wasn't good, man. It wasn't good. And I it was never close either. Like
Yeah, no.
that's the
From
thing.
from
Like
Jump Street, Klay Thompson was on the Pacers for a game. And he changed his name to Doug McDermott. Who would have bet on that?
yeah. That's
How many did Dougie Fresh drop? He dropped I think Dougie Fresh dropped 22, 21, and I think 20 of them came in the first half. Like literally all his points are in the first half almost.
yeah.
It
No,
was ridiculous.
that was a tough tough scene for the Charlotte Hornets and Michael Jordan.
And the
I
rookie
almost
of
expected
the
him
rookie of the
to
year, LaMelo Ball.
I almost expected Jordan to suit up and get on out there
I
after that.
wouldn't have been surprised if Bismack Biyombo looked a little different when he came out. I was expecting it. I mean,
Hey
like, why
man,
does Bismack
yeah.
Biyombo look a little shorter
Why is
and
Biyombo a little shorter,
he's a little older? What's
little
going on?
heftier, but he's got a sweet jumper still. So
Yeah, he's talking some shit right now.
oh yeah. So those Eastern Conference games didn't happen,
Yeah,
especially
no.
the second one. What a bummer.
Oh man, hey, Tatum went the hell off.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, and what were you saying last week?
Yeah,
The last episode, how someone said Tatum needed to be
yeah.
more Kevin
Tatum needed to
Garnett
be
than
more like
Kobe,
yeah.
and
He needed to be more KG than Kobe.
yeah, and I think being Kobe worked out.
Yeah, dude.
That was very Kobe-esque of him.
He was good, and Kemba actually showed up for once in a Celtics
Yeah,
uniform.
yeah. I mean, just in time.
Yeah,
Imagine if he keeps this up, and then magically Jaylen Brown comes back from his
yeah.
ACL, and
I think the Celtics or I think the Nets are gonna have a very fun 5-game series with the
oh
Celtics there.
yeah, Tatum's dropping 60 every game.
Yeah.
and it's gonna be so
Unfortunately,
fun to
unfortunately,
watch.
KD, Harden, and Kyrie might drop 60 each as well. So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of highlights to cut up. You feel me?
yeah.
Something
No.
fun to watch. But as far as that Eastern Conference goes, uh, what is it? Indy. It's Indy. No. It's Char.
Indy
Oh yeah,
and
Indy and Washington tonight,
Indy and
right?
Washington get to play, I think, tonight. Yeah.
Listen, I don't
Um.
know. Um, I don't even know where to go with this one.
Uh.
After watching the
Probably
last two
Indy.
games, like
Probably
the
Indiana.
like the way Indiana played, I just feel like if they do the same thing they did last 2 days ago, they're gonna blow Washington out the water. And if
Yeah.
Russ has, as terrible a game as he
The
did last,
same playoff strategy you always have for Russell Westbrook.
yeah. And I mean, Scott Brooks isn't the best coach either. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't
No,
expect him to have anything for Indy, but Indy was playing absolutely lights out, moving the ball. And I mean, even Devontae Sabonis had a not so great offensive game, but the bro dropped 21 rebounds on their heads and 9
yeah.
assists. Like 35 assists in total for that team against the Hornets. Just freaking crushing it.
Yeah. No, and it's funny too because we'd completely forgotten about the whole drama going on in Indiana with
Oh, and like half their like
yeah,
three
their
of their
coach.
main the players weren't even there. Like,
Yeah,
well,
their
not three
coach
of them. What Karis LeVert?
nearly a mutiny over there. So that was kind of an impressive performance, all things considered. But I guess while we're here, we did our awards last episode,
we
and
we forgot a
we
major
forgot about
award.
the rookie of the year, which is like I think that's kind of apt because I think the rookie of the year is a guy that a lot of people forgot about. James Wiseman. Thank good thing the Warriors passed on LaMelo Ball to take
Oh yeah, definitely.
a center.
Yeah, they definitely, like, LaMelo Ball wouldn't have done anything for them last night.
Yeah, no, there's
Yeah, not
there's
at all.
no way.
But
No way that having somebody other than Steph Curry that could score and pass would have been helpful for the Warriors yesterday.
but speaking on that, yeah, man, the that Laker game though, like, this is really just what I want to jump to it.
I mean, yeah, isn't that the rub, man? The only thing anybody ever wants to talk about is the Lakers.
I mean, they're so polarizing.
Yeah,
But
no, it's
they all right, so they started off that game absolutely horrible. Like, looking like they hadn't played the last 30 games together.
yeah,
Not surprising. Um my biggest worry was that they just weren't going to get out of this game. At halftime, I was legit worried because it's just kind of not a good look to lose this one and then be in a do or die
yeah, yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
with a scrappy Memphis team. I wouldn't have been too confident going into that, although I would have expected the Lakers to come out. That's still, I don't like a coin flip situation with a team that hasn't got their rhythm yet. But the Lakers were once the second half came around, the Lakers became the Lakers again. Like, instantly. They started causing
Yeah.
turnovers. The defense just came back to life. The offense started coming back. I noticed AD got a lot more easy baskets because in the first half, especially in that first quarter, they were trying to feed AD a lot, but it was a lot of one-on-one with Draymond. And credit to Draymond, he was snuffing out Anthony Davis in those one-on-one matchups, and then the help would come, and they were playing him perfectly in that first half, and there was nothing he could do about it. But in the second half, things kind of shifted, and I felt like they got Anthony Davis a lot more easy buckets, and it wasn't just him pulling up for
Do you,
threes or contested jumpers or one-on-one. There's a lot more lobs and stuff.
Yeah. Do you want to know what the secret is with the Lakers?
What?
As soon as you move Anthony Davis to the 5, you're not stopping them.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's what it is. Like that whole first half, they were trying the whole Andre Drummond thing, and it's just
I don't know if that's
it's not
gonna
gonna cut
work.
it.
I don't know if that's gonna work.
You have to put Davis at the 5. It opens up the floor. It makes things so much easier for them to operate. It's not a coincidence that they looked like garbage for the first half while they were still trying to force Drummond in there, and then as soon as they move 80 to the 5, it just magically gets better.
Yeah.
Like it's just like that's always been the way it worked. I If you're insistent on playing a 5 for the first half or whatever, then it has to be Gasol, like because at least he can shoot and he can
And he
pass,
can pass.
and
He can open up
he's
the
not
floor.
bad on he's not bad on defense. I don't know where this narrative came from that Gasol is somehow washed, but he's
So
he's a better option than Drummond. That's straight up,
yeah, I'm
especially at this
starting to
point.
realize Drummond has to, if they're gonna win, Drummond has to play that Dwight Howard role. Like
Yeah,
where he comes in for like 15, 17 minutes, comes in, spells,
yeah, he's
Davis
just,
for a bit, gets a few rebounds and putbacks and goes back to the
yeah,
bench.
yep,
Like um but I think there has to be a Marc Gasol sighting in the next series
yeah.
against Phoenix.
Yep. You have to start him. If you're insistent on playing AD at the 5 later in the game, then yeah, you've got to start Gasol. That's the only option. If they start Drummond again, it's purely politics.
Yeah.
That's the only.
I mean you can I almost don't have a problem with starting Drummond if you have to, but Gasol has to get the bulk of the minutes.
Yeah. Well,
Or
Drummond
at least an
starts.
even amount. Gasol didn't even get in yesterday.
Yeah. Drummond starts because there's this weird political thing with LeBron and AD. They wanted Drummond on the team, so he gets to start, but it doesn't work. It, it doesn't it does not work, especially as you saw last night. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, I feel he kind of clogs he clogs the lane a bit.
Yeah.
And especially in that first quarter, it was a lot of Anthony Davis taking outside shots
Yeah.
or Drummond kind of moving away from the lane for AD to play one-on-one. But at that point, Drummond is like absolutely useless because if you provide shooters around Anthony Davis, then and he's in the post, he at least has an option outside when they throw the double teams and stuff at him. But Drummond can't do anything for you, and he's
No.
kind of bad at he kind of has a crap shooting percentage overall for a big man in his career in the paint.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
The
I don't know. I was loving it at first. The thought of it was cool when they got him, but now I'm realizing he can't be more than the Dwight Howard
Well,
role.
yeah, and when they got him, like everybody was injured, so it was kind of like okay, so like Drummond will at least help keep them afloat. But now that they have LeBron and AD back, obviously,
I mean, he
I
didn't
just
even
don't.
really do that, but
Yeah, like I just don't think it really works.
I think he showed up for like one game.
Down the stretch there, in their 5-game winning streak, he kind of like
Well, I mean,
made
when
sense.
he was holding the boat down with them not there.
Yeah, no, it was
Like for the bulk of that month, he wasn't really doing anything. There was
yeah,
like one game where he went off.
and thank God the Lakers did not give Dennis Schroeder that extension that he badly wanted in the middle of the season. He was. Did you see his plus minus yesterday?
Yeah, I'm not a
He
big
was
fan of plus minus, but
he was a minus 20 in a game they won by 3. That's
watching the game, he definitely wasn't like he had his moments, but it wasn't enough to
to
validate the contract that he was asking
no,
for.
no, not at all. Maybe he'll be better at some point in the playoffs. I mean, it is a tall ask to be like, all right, go guard Steph Curry. Like I get that, but like,
Especially after 10 days off.
yeah. But
But
Caruso and KCP, I mean, did admirably there. So,
oh, they low key they were the MVPs because
oh, dude,
they kept the Lakers with. I mean, if 15 points at down 15 at halftime is within shooting range,
yeah.
like they were within range
Well, and like that's the
because of
same
them.
thing. Yeah, that's the same thing that you always saw with the Heat too. Like like you never felt out of it if they were down like double digits.
Yeah,
It
no.
wasn't until they were down like 20 points like late in the third quarter that you were like, "Oh, this might not be their night." But even then, they'd still go on a run to get it within like 8 or 6.
Yeah, almost every great team, the third quarter is theirs.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
always. Even you remember those great Warriors teams, they would close out a game in the third quarter.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden they're up 35 and the rest of the whole team's sitting for the fourth
Uh,
quarter. Like,
yeah, dude. No, uh it's just yeah. It's so funny like and I guess it's kind of started to turn, but like Alex Caruso last year was kind of like just a meme, but you'd always have Laker fans be like, "No, he's actually good." Like if you actually watch the game, he's good, which was always perplexing to see people that like fancied themselves as like basketball fans do everything they could to like not admit that Caruso was just a good basketball player. But like I don't know what more you need to see. Like he's just good.
yeah, he
Like
was he was the one guarding Curry a lot of the game. And yeah, Curry dropped 31, but
wasn't an easy
it
31.
wasn't an easy 31 or he dropped 37.
Which is
I
like
mean,
that was always going to be the game plan is like you're not going to stop Steph, so just make sure that like, Draymond Green doesn't beat you or
most of I want to see the breakdown of w- what Curry's shooting percentage with
Caruso
Caruso
and
on him was, because I mean, looking at the stats, he had a Steph game still. He was 6 for 9 from 3. He was, he shot 52% from the field. But from watching the game, it felt like whenever Caruso was on him was when those misses were happening
made
or
him
when
work.
he had
Yep.
the more tough shots. Especially in the first quarter when none of the stars seemed to be doing anything. They
Yeah.
were doing a great job on Curry, especially coming to help and contest threes that he was shooting. They did a great job, but Caruso, I think he had 12 points in the first half too. He was like their leading
Yeah,
scorer
he
at
finished with
half.
14. Yeah, no, it's going to take the Lakers a little bit to get going, but I mean, really the key is just sticking AD into that 5 spot. That's the entire key.
Yeah, and I mean, I think AD's fine with that. He just doesn't want to play 5 during the regular
Yeah.
season all year long.
Yep.
Playoffs, he'll
Which
do
I
whatever
get.
it takes.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Yep.
like shout out to the Warriors though,
Yeah, yeah,
because
dude. I mean,
they played their ass off. Like, bro, Jordan Poole couldn't miss in the second quarter. Andrew Wiggins was balling out of his mind in the first half.
yeah, Wiggins always gets up for LeBron.
He remembers him telling him to trade him.
Yeah.
Go get Kevin Love. Get rid of Andrew Wiggins.
uh, oh man, poor guy.
But yeah, he was hooping. Like, they were really Kent Bazemore was dropping buckets. Like, they were going off. Kevin Looney looked like an all-star center for a second. It was wild. I was
You know
so
what?
confused for a minute.
What's funny is like no, there's not really anything to say about the other playing game, the Grizzlies and the Spurs. Nobody cares. No,
No.
nobody really gives a damn about that.
Well, I'll say one thing about the Memphis Spurs game. I will give the Spurs credit. They could have folded. It was looking like the Hornets Pacer game, but the Spurs didn't fold and they kept it close. I mean, they came back in the second quarter, and the Grizzlies really just kind of like held on. The Spurs didn't get a great game out of DeRozan and still barely lost. He was like
Yeah,
5 for 21, but credit to Memphis. Like, that team is going to be a problem if they get a couple shooters and around Ja Morant and give Ja Morant 1 to 2 years more of development, and they're gonna be a real problem
yeah.
because
No,
they're
I
like in
just
the bottom of the league for 3-pointers, but at the top of the league for 2-point percentage.
it's just it's a damn shame that after 45 years the Spurs will miss the playoffs for the first time in back-to-back seasons. That's just
back to back. Yeah.
yeah, just makes me really sad.
They have the number one win percentage in basketball, like
It
their
wouldn't
franchise.
shock me. Yeah, so they were a great franchise, and then Greg Popovich stuck his nose where it didn't belong, and ever since then they seem to have been cursed. But that's neither here nor there.
The Kawhi Leonard curse.
I think the calling up who was the GM at the time, Dell Demps.
Hmm.
Was he the Pelicans GM? I think calling him up and like begging, essentially begging him not to trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers. I think that's probably what did it. Like, don't worry about like,
Don't worry about other people. It's like
yeah, exactly. Like
yeah,
if the Lakers are going to get AD, like they're going to get AD, and you're just going to figure out a way to beat them. But like calling him to like beg him not to do it is just very sad.
making moves to go out of your way to make sure another
Yeah,
team doesn't get somewhere without worrying about yourself
which
is
like at
a
the end of the
recipe
day,
for
I
disaster.
I have to think that the NBA, like GMs and owners and everybody, like they all knew that one way or another Anthony Davis was going to wind up in LA, right?
I mean, that's
Like,
where he wanted. I think
yeah,
there was
like
there was one place he was gonna go.
Boston or whoever, like they would never actually give up the pieces to do it, but like they could have traded for him, but he still wasn't going to sign there. So I don't know, like it's just Pop just got too lost, man. He forgot what you're supposed to do. Just worry about yourself, buddy. But oh well. Too bad, so sad. You know what I think my favorite part of these playing games was?
What?
Uh the fact that nothing that happened actually counts for anything.
Dude, that's
like
so stupid. Why don't
like
they count
Jason
it as
Tatum
playoffs?
yeah, Jason Tatum dropped 50 or whatever, doesn't count. LeBron had a triple double, doesn't count. Curry's 37 doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Like,
Like,
why would that not count though? It's a play. Like, technically, a
dude,
play-in game should still be a playoff game. They have
yeah,
play-in games for the NCAA tournament.
for
You
for
know what I mean? Like,
statistical purposes, none of that counted yesterday.
that's
That's the
crazy.
stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Stupid, stupid. Hey, side note, can the Grizzlies just go back to their old color scheme, like, and make the City Edition jerseys their official jersey, like their mains?
I know they should.
Because those blues are just, I can't stand watching them play because their jerseys are trash. But
Yeah,
like that
no,
color
they.
scheme is just so basic.
Yeah.
So like, but that
Well,
teal, golden, brown, black with an accent of red on there, bro, is so heat. Have you
and
seen those City jerseys?
yeah. No, those
We'll
are
put the
good.
let me get the plug in real quick. Unpopular Opinion is sponsored by Jersey Goat. And you can get yourself a City Edition John Morant jersey at jerseygoat.company.site. Go ahead and get yours. But yeah, those jerseys are fire as hell, bro. Like,
uh, yeah, the Memphis City jerseys are good. Whatever edition the Warriors were wearing last night, those are really good. Although a little bit like pissing on the grave, seeing as you don't even play in Oakland anymore. But whatever.
whatever, they're close.
Yeah, I feel I feel bad for Oakland, man. They're gonna lose all their teams in the span of like 2 years.
They're down the street. How far is Oakland from San Francisco? Like time wise, like
Like, dude,
it's
it
on.
always depends on traffic, but I think it's like 30 minutes.
No, come on.
It's not bad, but there is definitely a difference in culture. I think
Oh no,
a
I
difference
definitely
in
believe.
vibes and culture between
I
Oakland
definitely
and San
believe they
Francisco.
should have stayed in Oakland, but yeah,
Right now,
it's
if
not
you
like they moved their team from Seattle to Oklahoma
no
City.
no no if you left right now from downtown Oakland, it would take you 21 minutes with traffic to get into San Francisco.
There you go.
Yeah, not bad.
You're chilling.
God, just an affront to humanity, the city of San Francisco.
Although I guess I would be annoyed if they moved like the Lakers to Anaheim and still called them the Los Angeles Lakers. So I mean, yeah, no,
uh,
I guess I super understand. when I think of it that way.
that's a different conversation.
They can move the Clippers over there.
I mean, well, it doesn't matter now since they're
They're going to Inglewood or
they're
whatever.
gentrifying Inglewood as we speak. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think that was a terrible move. They needed to just leave the LA area altogether.
yeah. You think do they? I wonder if they think it's gonna get any better in Inglewood of all places. Like,
Yeah, like they're not Laker fans there
yeah.
too. I wonder if Ballmer like just did research and maybe we just don't know, but the highest population of Clipper fans are actually in Inglewood.
I think it's just like Silver Lake isn't big enough to host a team.
No, I have a theory. The people in Inglewood like the Clippers because they love Paul Pierce because he came from Inglewood, and then they were mad that the Lakers beat the Celtics in the
Oh,
finals. So now, out of their hatred, they became Clippers fans.
I
And
just
Ballmer had his ear to the streets, and he knew this. So
yeah.
that's where he's building it. It's genius.
Ah,
But I really would love the Clippers to turn into the Seattle Supersonics.
yeah.
We don't need to
It
add a
won't
team. Just get rid
won't
of the
happen.
Clippers.
Just there's too much money in Los Angeles.
Boo.
Can I just say that I think it's ridiculous when you look at the 2021 Basketball Hall of Fame class and you see names like Ben Wallace, Chris Bosh, Chris Webber, Rick Adelman, Bill Russell going in as coaches, and then you got Paul Pierce being in that class. Of all the people, Paul Pierce dragging all those names down. It's just disgusting.
Oh man. Hey.
This is the one
I
time
like
where I think it's simply too easy to be an NBA Hall of Famer or a basketball Hall of Famer, rather.
Nah, Paul Pierce definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
F Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce is a terrible talking head, but he was a hooper,
F
dog.
Paul Pierce. I don't care.
He was by himself in Boston for
That's right. He was
years.
by himself, never won shit, and then he had to call Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen to come save him.
Bro, the best player he ever had was Antoine Walker.
He shit his pants in the middle of a game.
Antoine Walker, the type to, I think he
did.
did. I think that was actually a story where he just
He
straight
did
up
a
waved off Paul Pierce just to airball a freaking shot at the buzzer.
he did a poopy in his pants in the middle of a game and got carried off the floor and
then
put in a wheelchair because he
then
pooped
brought
his
him
pants.
back. Then brought him back in like nothing happened.
Yeah, I don't. You're never gonna convince me. You can throw all the stats, whatever you want.
Hey, but LeBron's an actor,
right? Oh man,
crazy. Hey,
Ugh.
speaking on that front, it's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Cause listen, first off, if we're just talking the history of flopping, it was brought over by Vlade Divac and the rest of the European crew, and also most recently made famous by Derek Fisher and Manu Ginobili. And then now everybody hates LeBron for using it strategically. And what I mean by strategically is the fact that LeBron James suffers from the same issues that Shaquille O'Neal and Dwight Howard and other ridiculously athletic, strong players have, where they get fouled hard as hell, where other players who are weaker would end up falling on the floor and laying there for 5 minutes, but they can take it, so no fouls are ever called.
Yeah.
So strategically, you kind of have to act a little bit so someone thinks that you got fouled, because if they just barreled through everyone, no one would ever call a foul on them.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's obvious. It's always been like that for him, so it is what it is.
Also, coming full speed into Draymond Green's lunging arms is probably gonna fuck you up too. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be on the floor. I probably don't come back into the game.
Yeah, no, it's.
But he came in. Oh, another thing I hated listening to the last like 12 hours. People saying that shot was luck. Lord Jesus, he caught the ball, squared up, and let it fly.
Yeah, I like Was Steph's the three that Steph leaned into to beat the Thunder back in like 2016? Was that like all luck too, or
Of course not.
like, dude, it's just I just like I was saying to you before, like I have an issue with people complaining about flopping, like especially LeBron flopping when they're like turning around and rooting for like Chris Paul or Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is like one of the worst. Like he gets away with it all the time because everybody likes Kawhi.
Hmm.
But like, dude, watch him drive, and literally every single time he's throwing his head back and yelping like he's a female tennis player. Like he just that's what he
uh,
does.
I mean, I get the LeBron hate. People are still mad over taking your talents to South Beach, and a lot of people are just threatened in general because their favorite players, whether it was Kobe or Jordan, they hate to hear the goat talk and stuff.
Yeah,
So they automatically turn to hate instead of just um,
just
watching
appreciate it while it's here,
basketball and
man. Yeah.
appreciating it for what it is.
You never he could just hang it up after this year. You never know. And
Yeah,
then that's gonna be the frustrating thing is he's gonna retire and then everyone's gonna be like, oh man. And there's gonna be all these like Twitter videos of like people forget that LeBron James was a bucket or some shit like that.
oh yeah, no, especially after he wins this championship, um, after being the first team to come out of the play-in bubble and probably the only one that'll ever come out of the play-in bubble and win a championship, on his resume, they're gonna be like, "Oh snap! Like LeBron really went through it in his final. Look at these teams he played. Oh my God, the
uh,
72 win Warriors, then the 73 win Warriors. Then he had to play. Um, then they added Kevin Durant to that. Then he not only did he had to play the Spurs 3 times, one of the greatest dynasties
yeah.
of our
I
time.
I mean, I have no interest in relitigating LeBron's career, but there's no one that has played more all-time teams in the finals than he has.
Yeah,
Like, it's ridiculous.
I'm kind of hoping he plays the Nets get there just so it can be another one. Like,
I know.
look, they
I think you can probably make the argument that the worst in air quotes team that he played was probably last year's Heat. But even then, like they were just blowing people out of the bubble or out of the bubble last year. Like they were just blowing teams away. Like so
yeah.
even then, it's not like they were a bad team. Like
Yeah, that was probably yeah, that was the weakest team out of the teams that they played. If you
yeah,
look back on it, will probably be that team. The Mavericks team they should have beat because of who they were, but that was a good team.
yeah,
That
no,
was
that
just a bunch of
the
veterans and Hall of Famer Dirk
best thing that
Nowitzki.
ever happened to the Lakers was the Heat not winning that finals because otherwise you would have had the two-time defending champions getting buzzsawed by the Mavericks. I think in the was it the first round or the second round at that year?
Second
I think
round.
that was the second round. Yeah,
Second round, yeah.
yeah.
When
You had them get fucking buzzsawed by that Mavs team and Andrew Bynum clotheslining JJ Barea.
that wasn't even a close. That wasn't his like his elbow or something.
Dude, yeah, it was bad.
Like he put a dent in his head and threw him on the floor. It was crazy. But
Oh, we loved it.
so in this next series, I'm thinking Lakers. I think we already said it in the last pod, but
Yeah,
Lakers in five,
I
six
think so.
if the rhythm still isn't there after like a game. I could see them losing 2 maybe, but
Yeah, the Suns are good,
I think
but
the
they just
Suns
don't
are
match
gonna
up
be
well
their
with the
easiest
Lakers.
series. Yeah. It's gonna be their easiest series of this run.
Can you imagine being the Suns and the Jazz and working as hard as you did to be the top seeds, and your reward is the Lakers and the Warriors in the first round?
I mean, it's not that big of a deal for the Jazz now that it's the Warriors, but I
No,
definitely
but
think it's sad that
well, I mean,
they
also
were both
The Grizzlies could beat the Warriors. Who knows? I just don't think they will.
they were both sitting there like praying that the Jazz were praying the Lakers are gonna win, and the Suns are praying the Lakers are gonna lose,
Yeah,
and they're the 1 and 2 seed. Like
yeah,
normally, you shouldn't care. Like the Sixers
that's
don't
so
give a
funny.
damn who comes out of the play-in in the East, and neither do the
No,
Nets.
no, that's funny. Um, I think there is one important piece of news that we've glossed over that I really want to get to before we close out the show today.
Ah,
Um, it's probably the biggest story of the year. I don't know how we haven't mentioned it at this point, but it's official today. Tim Tebow is a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I thought we were gonna get through the show without that.
Earth-shattering news.
Might have to cut that.
Oh, why? It's so funny. Do you
It's
think
so
do you think
terrible,
I can
dude.
go on the Jacksonville team store right now and buy a Tebow jersey? Oh, sure as hell you can.
Wow, they already got one up?
Tebow 85, baby.
Oh my
He's
god.
wearing 85. That pisses me off, actually. That angers me more than anything else. That should be
He
a
could
sacred
wear
number.
whatever he wants now, right? Didn't they open up the numbers, or is it not
Yeah,
for tight ends?
I wonder who's already wearing 15, or maybe he's like, "Nah, this is a chance for my career to be reborn."
God.
Oh, who who do you think has more jerseys sold by the end of the season for the Jags? Trevor Lawrence or Tim Tebow?
Oh, Tim Tebow. That's not even that's a silly question. Tim Tebow.
Oh man, that's so funny. Oh,
It's
please God.
disgusting. That's disgusting.
What if he's actually good? Like, what if he like makes the
I'm
team?
still gonna be mad. I'm honest. It's just the principle of it all. Like,
What if
you
he
can't
makes
step
the
away from
team
the
and
game
he's
for
like
that long.
he has like, 800 yards and 8 touchdowns next year. Some clutch first downs. A nice like motivational halftime speech.
Gets a game-winning touchdown. Starts praying in the end zone.
Oh
God, I'm not
man.
ready for it.
Oh
I'm not ready.
God. Football season, get here, please. We need you.
It's gonna be rough because I'm feeling like every weekend we're gonna have to say something about Tebow if he's any
Oh,
good,
dude, I can't wait.
and I don't really
I
want that.
cannot wait. I can't wait, man. I hope. I hope just for maximum chaos
Jeez,
that he's good
it's
or at
crazy.
least serviceable.
I was rooting for Tebow back in his Denver days. Did I think Did I think he needed to stay the quarterback for Denver? No. Like, I
Well,
think
so
what
yeah,
happened was
like
for a reason, but
I
like,
think the funniest part of that was like there were still people like even when Manning signed there, they were like, I don't know, man. Manning, you never know how he's going to be, and we've got Tebow. Oh man. And now
that's
they're just going to
crazy.
get Aaron Rodgers. It's going to piss me off. It's going to be unfair.
Yeah, well, let's clear our palate of that real quick before we end this. And I have one little tidbit to share. So I was looking up playoff tickets, and I was trying to look for tickets for last night and for the Lakers game last night.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last seat in the house, I'm talking about 300 section 300, top row. The price of the ticket was $370. Um,
uh,
but then I went to the Clippers, and this Saturday against Dallas, the last seat in the house is $56.
dude.
So
And you really can't even use the like, oh well, the Lakers and the Warriors is such a bigger matchup, blah blah blah. Like, it's still Kawhi and Luca.
well, it
Like,
doesn't even.
there's still a market on the other side.
Some people might try and make that argument that, well, it's a play-in game, so it's gonna be more. Like, no, bro, these are Laker prices for the playoffs. Like,
Yeah,
they
that's
will
just how much
be
they are.
that might be the cheapest the nosebleed is for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, no, especially last year when fans didn't get to go at all to a playoff game. It's going to be insane. I mean, I'm going to Dodger Stadium for the first time tonight in like 2 years, and it's going to be like going back to church. So there are a lot of Laker fans that are ready to get back into Staples Center, and they're going
When
to
they
pay a
sing
lot of
"Take Me
money to
Out,"
do it.
when they sing "Take Me Out" to the ball game, you're gonna have
I
your hand
might
up in the air
I
and weep
might
a
be
little
drunk at
bit.
that. I'll probably be drunk at that point. So who knows? Maybe I might not even be in the stadium anymore.
Mentally or physically?
Both. Oh,
All right. Well, we have an exciting weekend of basketball. I can't wait to watch. And
I can't believe I didn't let you do your ticket thing so I could end the show with T-Bone news. That sucks. I'll be better next time.
I had that in the pocket just in case you were going to try and do that.
Ridiculous.
I knew your games.
Oh
Known you
man.
too long, Bo. You're gonna have to come harder than that. We're playing chess over here.
Damn it.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. We want to know what you think of the playoffs, what these last games. We want to know what you think the outcome will be, who will win. So, comment on YouTube, comment on our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. Let us know what you think. We want to know what the people think of these playoffs. Let's engage in the conversation. That's what we're all here for. So until next time, we'll be seeing you.
Peace.
Bearded king first. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. We the best of the best. Not too many top-notch podcasts left. We don't even need much time to prep. Never ever know what we gon' do next, but real recognize real, you see. So please tell me that you're feeling me, cause I can smell jealousy from a mile away, and there's no space for that on the show today. Might hurt a couple feelings, but so what? It'll be a good story to tell when we blow up. Try to shut us down, you gon' have no luck, cause we locked in and we tryna get the whole cut. So just vibe, look alive, pay homage, we arrive. We ain't going nowhere, so fall back. Legendary anthem like Left Eye and all that. Unpopular opinion, I'll swagger on a million. Immaculate civilians, adapting like chameleons. Be cautious in our dominion. Banks all around us on Vivian, taking off like balloons filled with helium. Got cheese and bread, Sicilian. Unpopular opinion, unpopular opinion, unpopular opinion, unpopular opinion, unpopular opinion, unpopular